Hello, welcome or welcome back to Grey the Gold Witch. Today we're doing a reading on messages from your subconscious. There's 5 piles today. The first is this amethyst crystal. The second is sodalite. The third is aventurine. The fourth is lapis lazuli. And the fourth is orange calcite. So take a second, meditate on the piles if you need to, and I'll see you in your reading. Hey, pile 1, if you chose the amethyst crystal, then this is your reading on messages from your subconscious. So let's get into it. The first message we have is Sekhmet, reduction. The second card we have is self-reliance. The third card we have is love. The fourth card we have is mysterious mother in reverse. And then we have innocence in reverse. Okay, I'm hearing Man Who Can't Be Moved. That song. Standing on the corner when I first saw you. Okay, so this is your subconscious is wanting to tell you that you are putting up with less than you deserve in relationships. It's hard for you to let go of relationships you're in, and I think this has hardened you in a sense. And I think that part of this is because you play a nurturer to the people you're with. And whenever they make mistakes, you blame it, or you subconsciously blame it on their innocence or their naivety. You make excuses for them. And what Spirit's saying is you deserve people who don't need you as a nurturer, who can stand up for themselves and that you don't have to make excuses for. It's time for you to stop making excuses for these people in your life. Because there's this necessary process that needs to happen where you reduce the people you spend time around so new people can come in. And I'm hearing that the people who are meant to come in are very beautiful soul connections. These are karmic connections that you're dealing with to help you raise in your self-reliance. But Sappho was this very beautiful poet back in, there's an island named after her in Europe. And she wrote, "Someday, somewhere, somebody will remember us." And she's from a very, very long time ago. And that line just strikes a chord in me. She had like the deepest of loves for the people around her. And Spirit's saying this is what you can have too. You can have this great love, but you have to realize that you're putting up with things you don't deserve. You're nurturing the people who don't deserve it. And these people are not innocent. They know what they're doing, and they know they're taking advantage of you. And the more you keep them in your life, the longer it'll take for this love to come in. And this does feel romantic. And these people need to be taught self-reliance, and you need to realize that you are very self-reliant. These people are not taking care of you. You are very self-reliant, and you do not need them. When they leave, you will be just the same, except maybe a little sad. You'll have to grieve the relationship, but there's nothing left for you here. It's almost like you're being the too good mother, which is an archetype of an over-nurturing mother who lets people get away with, enables bad behavior. And rationalizes bad behavior from their kids. And this might have some trauma associated with, you might have always been a nurturer, and you might pick out people or relationships where they have mother wounds so that you can help heal them. I think it's something that probably comes from your own pain. But this is a lesson you have to learn so that the right people can come in. And you're going to feel this reduction is magnified. Like, this reduction of people in your life is really trying to happen, and you're resisting it. And this resistance is just making your life harder. These two flowers are separate. They don't need each other. They stand alone. And that's what you're being asked to do. And I'm just hearing that you have no idea what's coming for you. Because you're self-reliant, you're also going to meet someone who's self-reliant, and the love will be strong, and you both will help each other grow. It feels like this person from the past, or whoever this pattern has happened with, was an anchor. I heard this metaphor recently. They were an anchor for you, but an anchor can both ground and trap us, like keep us stuck. And this situation's keeping you stuck. You can't grow here. You must find new soil. And it's time for you to get rid of your naivety around this and realize that you can't keep beating a dead horse. That's what the metaphor that's coming in. And it's time for you to allow these changes to unfold in your life so better can come in. Wow, okay. Subconscious just ran through that. I decided not to look at any of the books for these or even see the cards before I started filming, because I really wanted it to just come out of the subconscious very naturally. And sometimes I feel like Spirit tells me to study the cards before I go into it, just so that I can say everything that needs to be said. So, yeah, I'm loving this reading. I think I should do this more often. So, okay, we're going to look at the tarot cards for additional information, additional context. Since this was about moving on, we're going to ask how you can do that. Okay, how can you do that? And then we're going to ask what's waiting for you on the other side. Okay. What's waiting for you on the other side? And then we have the Emperor in reverse on the back of the deck. I want to make sure that these cards are all in frame. Okay, so... oh, there's another card. Okay. It's hidden. So we have the Three of Wands, the Lovers in reverse, the Four of Cups, and the Six of Wands. Okay, this is very egoic that you're staying in this. And you don't think you can find something better. But I think you are basing that on skewed values. Like, I think that your ego is telling you that something's a victory that is really keeping you stuck. And I'm seeing that you have to choose the difficult choice, and the choice where you see beauty, you find what you're looking for in the dark. Like, you're risking this to find what you're looking for. And I think that if you could see that there was something better for you, you would take that option. But it feels like you're going to have to make this decision and take a leap of hope, because Spirit is saying they have something waiting for you that's better, but it has to be after you let go of these ego values. You have to make a decision that you have to trust in Spirit that it will lead you in the right direction. Because the more you stay in this, the more you're disempowering yourself and letting someone disempower you. There's this song that I think one of my family members told me their friend sang in a band. And it goes, Pangea, Pangea, it was a bad breakup. Or something like that. And that's coming into my head right now. And what I'm thinking there is that whenever like all those countries were together a long time ago, they were all the same massive land, and they had to break up. It was inevitable because of the tectonic plates under them. And all of these masses of land moved apart and became different continents. It feels like it was inevitable. It felt like it needed to happen, and there's just a little resistance here that it's because I think the future is unclear, and this has felt like the right thing on some level because of egoic reasons, whether that be money or status or just something you are insecure about, that this provides security for you. And so it's saying that you hold too much value in this thing, and you'll have much more fulfillment in this shot in the dark. So let's see what's waiting for you on the other side. The 9. No, this is the 6 of Cups in reverse. And the Knight of Cups, or the Page of Cups in reverse. I think you'll see how you weren't given to in this relationship that you just gave. And you'll see an immaturity in the relationship. I think you can't reflect because it's too close to you. But when you leave, you'll be able to see how you were trapped in this situation. And I think you'll be really relieved to know that you can grow now, that you're moving past this immaturity and this lack of receiving nourishment. So we're going to look at some affirmative cards just to give you some affirmations about this. So there's someone outside my apartment right now just talking about how they had to cut off contact with somebody that they cared about. And that's kind of just ironic to this. I'm not saying you have to cut off contact, but he was like really hyping himself up about not being treated badly. So we have the Empress. I create what I choose naturally and with joy. 7 of Swords. I take care of what I value. The World. I celebrate life and welcome new energy. And 2 of Swords. Whatever I decide, I trust in the outcome. I think you're meant to see that whatever this thing is that Spirit's pushing you away from didn't take great care of you. It didn't respect you. And I'm seeing that this is kind of one of those situations that's going to be difficult to make, but as long as you trust in the outcome and trust in Spirit, it will work out. Because you're really not seeing yourself accurately, and you need to step into your confidence and excitement about the future away from this thing to find hope. And I think new energy coming into your life will give you a lot of peace, but you can't find that stuck in this situation. I feel like you had a heart of glass and this person has shattered it repeatedly. And it's time for you to raise in your confidence and trust that where you're led by Spirit is where you're meant to go. We have Page of Wands. I'm always open to good news. I have the energy I need to realize my goals. And I'm ready for a breakthrough to success. I think you've realized something about this situation and you've been thinking about it already. This is not something that is being revealed to you for the first time. This is something you already have clarity on, but it's been hard to move away from. And Spirit's saying you don't have to do this immediately. You can take as much time as you need, even if you have to wait years to move away from it. but Spirit's saying you just need to rise in energy. You need to feel passionate and energetic enough to step away from this. And I see good news and good opportunities coming in for you that can help you step away, and you're meant to. And you're meant to trust that this good news will continue. I think you've been stuck in a loop that hasn't been serving you, and it's time to get out of that loop. So, to close, we are going to look at the Rose Oracle cards. Okay, 3 came out for pile 1. Mother Rose, returning to each other. Compassion, humanity. Rose without thorns, you have a right to your joy, peace, sweetness of life. And release the petals, transformation, death and rebirth, shedding, all change. Yes, you're being asked to transform your life. And this, you have a right to your joy, peace, sweetness of life. That's just the message of this entire reading. And I know that you have this nurturing side, but it shouldn't be at the sacrifice of yourself. So you're meant to mother yourself at this time. This is what I'm getting for you, Pile 1. This was the messages from your subconscious. This was an honor to read for you, and I hope this helped in some way. So I will see you in another reading. Take care. Bye. Hey, Pile 2, if you chose the Sodalite Stone, then this is your reading on what your subconscious wants to tell you. So first we have Aphrodite, self-love, Smother in reverse, Sylvia Plath, the dark, Violet, spirituality, psychic energy, and we have the lizard and picture plant, stagnation. Pile 2, I am so happy for you. This process that your subconscious is showing right now is beautiful, and you'll never be the same. So right now, the spiritual plane's working with you, and your subconscious is working with you to rely more on spirituality for confidence and for a sense of innate self-worth. I think in the past you used to hold on to situations very tightly because you projected your value onto if that situation stayed or left, even if it was not good for you, and you were stagnating. And you have chosen to take a new path and choose yourself. And you're getting into this like baddie energy, like Cardi B, Nicki Minaj, Doja Cat. Like their songs are like very, I can't curse, but you know where I'm going with that. And I don't take any BS from anybody. And that's exactly what you're going into or you're coming into. And I think that you have a lot of distractions around you. Life is moving very fast. So you can't really tell these improvements are happening, but they're happening fast. And I'm seeing you're going to be very intimidating to people. Like I think you're radiating from the soul out a very strong energy. And this is a very strong message. If you write poetry right now, it's going to be fantastic. It's going to be channeled from spirit. I would definitely consider writing poetry and reading poetry and then writing it, because I'm seeing very clearly that you will make some very special work. Your stagnation period's over, and it's very important that you trust in this and continue to trust in your psychic ability and your spirituality. Do not attach your worth to anything outside of yourself. I remember Sylvia Plath's story. I got really interested in it like a year or two ago. And she had a really abusive husband who ended up, because she projected her worth onto him, whenever he ended up cheating on her and like abusing her, she internalized that. And it's so sad. There's a part in the Bell Jar at the end where she's like talking to this guy about how she's not going to let a man destroy her life. And then that inevitably that ended up happening. It's kind of eerie. So there's something you were projecting your worth onto, and it could be anything. And you've taken your power back. And your creativity is at an all-time high. Use it. Use it to your benefit right now, because you can make some beautiful work. I just heard masterpiece in my head in that tone. So, but okay, so Aphrodite being here, that is incredible. You are radiating love on a beautiful level. And I think people are really admiring you, even if you don't realize it. And I think you're really not putting up with less than you deserve. And I'm seeing that you're going to be in this energy where you don't really care about romantic suitors. And this is going to attract them to you even more, because you aren't feeling like you need that to affirm your worth. You are going to be in an energy with really good boundaries, and you're fine if things don't work out with people. You don't take it as a sign against you. You trust that it is what it is, and it has nothing to do with you. And your confidence is just rising really fast. And with the purple here, this is a very spiritual color, and somebody named Violet might be significant. I also just heard within the next 3 years. So I'm getting a lot of clairaudient downloads right now. You might have that. You definitely channel in some way, that's clear. I'm just seeing continue to know your self-worth, continue to pour love into yourself, and if you ever feel like attached into a situation, that means you're putting value and worth in it over yourself, and you need to come back into yourself. And don't be afraid when you see the dark side of things sometimes. The dark and the light coexist, and they both can be true. And you can either focus on the good or the dark. But sometimes looking at the dark gives you more insight into the good, and vice versa. So allow yourself to explore the pain you've been through in a creative way now that you have processed through it. Don't do it if you're still healing. Heal through it, and then use it to your advantage. Be careful not to let lizardy people into your life, or snakes. And this is the kind of energy where you don't need people fawning all over you to know your worth. And I just see that you're going to see your worth regardless of any external affirmation, and that's exactly how it should be. So own that. Don't let anyone say you're too cocky or confident or whatever jealous people say. Own your confidence. So let's look into the tarot cards for more information. So what do I want to ask after that message came through? How can pile 3 practice, I just said pile 3. Maybe pile 3 has something significant in it for you. How can pile 2 grow in this confident energy? Okay. And what's coming for pile 2 as this happens? Cool. These were a lot of cards, but hopefully, yeah, we'll put these 2 down here. And okay, so we have the world on the back of the deck. And then we have the Page of Cups upright, the 3 of Wands in reverse, and the Lovers in reverse. We have the 6 of Wands in reverse, the Cavalier in reverse. That's the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. The Five of Wands in reverse. The Four of Pentacles in reverse. And the Knight of Swords in reverse. Okay, I'm really seeing that there needs to be a level of patience here to get what you want. I'm seeing you're meant to be in this lighthearted, happy energy and really not take less than what you deserve, because Spirit's telling me that there are some tests right now of people who aren't worth your time and energy coming into your life. And you are meant to make the right choice and decline these offers. Really see that they are not worth your time. Pile 1 also might be significant to you. I'm seeing that you're in a whole new stage of your life. A cycle's completed where you take less than you deserve. And with this Four of Pentacles here, I'm seeing a stable foundation and you knowing that you have all the time in the world for what really aligns with you to come in, because you're a very high value person and that's what's meant to align with you. But right now you're going through tests where people who aren't aligned with you are coming in, and you're meant to really be discerning about the fact that these people are coming in and they are not aligned with you. This could also be friendships. Take it how it resonates. But I'm saying you don't have to make a dramatic scene out of this. You can just step away from the situations and not entertain them. You don't need to fight or argue. You can just step away. But there's people who are coming in brashly or just really aren't people you can grow with. And this could also be things like opportunities that really won't help you grow. And you're really meant to trust your intuition and know what's right for you and what's wrong for you. And this is really you saying no to assert yourself. And there's definitely going to be some energies that might have part of what you want, but you're meant to look at everything you want and make sure all of your needs are being met in any situation. And you might lose some battles of finding the right people, but you'll win the war as long as you focus on what aligns with you and make sure not to be impulsive. You're meant to be patient in these situations to also suss out and assess if they're right for you. Very patient. But Spirit's saying, and this is the silver lining of having to wait for this and having to discern whether things are right for you, is that you can be in a very lighthearted, playful energy during this. You can have a lot of fun throughout this experience because you know your value and you know that when things aren't right for you, it says nothing about you. It just indicates that they're not aligned with you and that this is a test from the universe to see if you'll take less than you deserve. So I see you can have a lot of fun with this and just enjoy your time and enjoy being appreciated and being yearned after. You're very desirable right now in a very attractive energy, and you can have fun with this. Don't let it stress you out that these situations are coming in. Embrace it and have fun with it, and just know when it isn't working and choose to bring in something better. So we're going to look at some affirmative cards for you. Okay. We have the Six of Cups. I remember and treasure past happiness. Queen of Wands. I am naturally creative. And the Lovers. I trust my knowing and make a commitment. This is like baddie energy. That's the exact definition of baddie energy. So I'm seeing that for some of you, you've gone through these lessons of the wrong people coming in, and you're meant to be thankful for them, but also know that better is coming in for you. And I see that you're very desirable and very attractive right now, and someone who's on your level is coming in. And you intuitively know this is the right person, and you can trust it and also have patience in letting this build slowly over time. This isn't something you'll rush into. this person will be mature enough to go slow. These people came in before were very fast moving, and you didn't need that. And I think you'll have love for these past events in the future, but it will be like a platonic love. It'll be like those experiences taught me what I needed so that I could end up here. Okay. So I didn't do this for the last pile, but I want to look at timing. Timing's really hard with tarot, and I just want to say, take it for if it intuitively feels right, but we'll look at if there's any timing indications for pile 2. So we have Yod, Fixed, which those signs are Aquarius, Taurus, Leo, Scorpio. Sorry, that took me a second. I was going through them. So those are the fixed signs. Oh, and 4. So this is destined when this is happening. This is destined partnership. This is written in the stars. I'm feeling as though one of these seasons is significant. Whenever you're watching, the next 2 coming in are significant. And yeah, cardinal seasons have a 4-month period, so maybe things are evolving within the space between those 2 things. And also they could have fixed sun, moon, rising placements. One thing I want to say is I have had a lot of distractions and noises come in during this reading, and I always take that as a sign as there's a lot of obstacles in the way of a situation. So there might be obstacles in getting this relationship off the ground, and there might have been a lot of obstacles before this, but it will be worth it. The obstacle is the way. Also, new moon's on the back of the deck, so that could be significant. We're going to close with Rosebud Oracle for pile 2. We have the Sun, enjoyment, life force, success, vitality, play, Rose without thorns. You have a right to your joy, peace, sweetness of life, and the rose thread, inner call, soul-led, the mystic, living courageously. Yes, you've had to live courageously to get to this point, but your soul has been leading you in this direction, and you have a right to your joy, and this is really just going to make you so happy. And I'm seeing that as the sun comes out, this will happen, this will come, or months. Yeah, okay, this is beautiful, and I'm very excited for you because you've worked really hard to get here, and you've had to make difficult decisions to get here, so, and you might continue to have to depending on where you're at. So it's been an honor to read for you, pile 2. Thanks for being here, and I will see you in another reading. Take care, bye. Hey, pile 3, if you chose the Aventurine Crystal, then this is your reading on messages from your subconscious. So first we have Purification in reverse. Then we have the Lion in reverse. We have the Sword. We have Warrior Princess. And we have New Beginnings in reverse. I'm hearing false start, and that the angels are heavily protecting you right now. If you could get a protection crystal, I think that would be really helpful. And I also heard Sunflower by Post Malone, so a lot of downloads off the bat. So what your subconscious is trying to tell you is that there's something or somebody in your life, or who was in your life. These are two camps of people who've already cut out this thing or person, and people who have been thinking about it, or who are still holding on to parts of this, have one foot out the door. There's nothing you can do to change this thing. It's going to keep draining your energy and keep you stuck. And it's going to make you feel worse about yourself than you should at all. You are a very strong person, and you're someone who can really fend for yourself. And this person's energy, thing's energy, is negative, and it pulls on your energy and makes you feel worse and makes you feel weaker and more hard on yourself. And this is Spirit saying, the more you pretend the situation is serving you, the longer it'll take for you to build a new beginning. The Sword and the Warrior Princess are here, and I feel like they're both so connected. You are very strong, and you need to fight for yourself and know your worth. And a princess wouldn't put up with less than they deserve from people or things. And that's what you're meant to do too. And you're meant to cut through this. The Sword's about insight and realizing something. And I see that you've realized that this isn't working for you. This is not supporting you. This is not in your benefit. And I feel like the divine really came in and made this clear because you weren't seeing it for what it was. And I see that you have some very beautiful new beginnings coming for you. But the reason you got stuck in this situation is because you feared that a new beginning wouldn't come. You feared what laid on the other side of this. As you leave this situation, beautiful new beginnings will come, and you'll feel pure and strong in yourself. And by looking back on the fact that you're able to leave this, you'll have a newfound sense of bravery and strength. And Spirit's really guiding you right now. And this message is really coming to you to let you know that you're going to be fine, you're going to be great. This is a testament to your strength that you're going through this. And Spirit's really proud of you. And Spirit's just saying it's true. This thing is not serving you. This thing is draining your energy, but you have the strength to get out of it. And when you leave this situation, when you stand up for yourself, you'll have a new beginning. So that's pretty simple and to the point. We're going to look at the tarot cards now. I think that Spirit's saying that, like, this is, like, just straight and to the point because this is what you need to know, and there's no nuance to this. It's just facts. So, Spirit, how can Pile 3 best serve themselves right now? Wow. I think you have more support than you're realizing. Spirit's saying just to take these cards. We have the Four of Pentacles on the back of the deck. We have the Fool, the Wheel of Fortune, the Five of Pentacles, and the Six of Swords. so weird how the 5 of Pentacles and the 4 of Pentacles look like cups. It's like, come on, make it more clear, please. Okay. So Spirit's being pretty straightforward in this reading, and they're not really giving any nuance. They're just saying this is really the way you best help yourself is by starting a new journey, by trusting that the wheel was turned down in that past chapter, so the wheel will inevitably turn back up. And I see you finding you're scared of being alone in this, but you have support and community, and you will find support and community that are really going to help you heal. I think you're scared to let go because you have a scarcity mindset of what's going to be on the other side of this, but you will have support and community, and you will be really happy when you move away from it. And this is definitely a new beginning where you know that things weren't working, and you allow yourself to empower yourself and know that what you're seeking is seeking you. Whatever this thing is, you're going to be way happier on the other side. Let's look at some zodiac cards for any additional information. We have the cabin, lonely, confined, detached, remote, secluded, bedroom, sexual fulfillment, intimacy, sensual pleasure, fine print, detail, look closer, inspection, castle, pride, recognition, position, heart and home, and rings. So this is for people who felt lonely, confined, and secluded within the thing that hasn't been serving them. This is for people who feel disconnected and unhappy in their circumstances. I would say most of these people, it would be a job, it would be a place that they lived, or it would be a romantic relationship where these people are dating. I think that I think there's fear of not finding another love, or not finding another thing that makes you feel connected and happy. And I think you're really overanalyzing it, and also maybe caught up in material blessings that come with this isolation. Maybe the job pays you really well, or maybe you just feel good where you are, you feel safe where you are. And this is obviously up to you what you want to decide to do, but Spirit's definitely saying that there's a change that would lead to better for you here. And this is what's in your subconscious. I mean, I think that this is something you subconsciously want. So it's something to be aware of, but it's up to you how you move forward with this. And yeah. Also, if this is a marriage, I just see marriage therapy, shifts in the marriage, meeting both of your needs. Yeah. Definitely focusing less on the ego and more on the emotional needs of both people. Okay, so we're going to look at some affirmative tarot cards for you. For pile 3, what tarot cards do they need? 6 of Cups, I remember and treasure past happiness. And the Hanged Man, I can see the situation another way. So I think this is a new perspective on what you were looking at, and Spirit's also reminding you that you can be thankful for the time you had with this thing or in this situation and how it was, and you're being reminded that time wasn't wasted here. Everything served a purpose, and you're meant to allow yourself to see it in different perspectives, and allow yourself also just to see what wasn't working, and don't pretend that this is working when there's things that need to change. And if they aren't changing, then it's important you take care of yourself and get through that. So we're going to look at the Rose Oracle deck. We have the child within, inner mother, innocence, gentleness, tenderness. The sun, joy, enjoyment, life force, success, victory, play. And the anointed, answer the call, leadership, empowerment, soul gifts. So I think the baseline is that you need to do whatever will empower you, whatever's going to make you joyful and happy, and whatever your inner child wants. I think you're meant to be gentle with yourself and tender with yourself. And if you wouldn't want your inner child to go through what you're going through, that's a good indication that it's not right for you. And if you're feeling called to make this change, I don't think you should ignore it, because it'll keep happening. I want to look at the ego cards for the self-forgiveness cards for one last message. Okay. We have, I forgive myself for attempting to draw conclusions based on the incomplete truths available to me now. I choose to believe that when I wait patiently without drawing premature conclusions, I allow myself to be swiftly moved to what is meant for me next. And then we have, I forgive myself for thinking that it means anything about me at all should one of my loved ones experience challenge. I choose to believe that it is safe to trust those I care for to grow resilient through the experiences of difficulties so that they may realize their strengths. Spirit's really just saying here that don't assume that things are going to work out a certain way if you don't have all the facts. And I'm seeing that for family and for relationships you're not going to end. You're just meant to change the dynamics within them and not feel like you have to save anyone, or you're meant to trust that they can take care of themselves. And if this is someone who is a friend or a romantic partner that you once thought was right for you, but you didn't have the whole truth, I think it's saying that you're meant to trust that this person can grow resilient on their own, and you don't have to take care of them or save them. And you might be feeling like you need to stay in this situation to be caring. And you know what? Pile 1 might be significant to you too. So yeah, this is a tough message, but hopefully it resonated with someone out there and was helpful. So thanks for reading. Thanks for coming to my reading. It was an honor to read for you. I'll see you in another reading. Take care. Bye. Hey, Pile 4, if you chose the Lapis Lazuli stone, then this is your reading on messages from your subconscious. So the first card we have here is Peace. The second card we have is Strong Boundaries. The third card we have is Shared Tenderness in reverse. The fourth card we have is Aphrodite, Self-Love. The fourth card we have here is Knife. Wow. So Pile 2 might be significant to you, but this has a different, they have similar energy but different messages. So I'm seeing that you have chosen peace over anything else. And you had to cut things out of your life that weren't serving you. And this might have been difficult, but you're at a place now where you are asserting very strong boundaries and want peace above all else. And I think you're doing a very good job of empowering yourself and giving yourself love. And there's, I feel like, a desire to have vulnerability and tenderness in your life, but you're scared of losing these boundaries and losing this peace and having to cut something out of your life again. And Spirit's saying that you can share this tenderness and have strong boundaries. And July 4th might be significant. Your subconscious is definitely saying that strong boundaries are paramount to you being vulnerable. And Spirit's kind of saying, like, not everyone's going to be on your energy level. Not everyone's going to align with you energetically. And that's not your problem. That says nothing about you. That just says that's the way it is. And if you take it personally every time someone doesn't vibe with you or you don't connect, then you'll have a hard time. But if you realize that there's some people you connect with and there's some you don't, I think you'll have a new perspective. And you also can wait to share tenderness with the people you feel you align with. You don't have to share tenderness with everyone, and that's a boundary you can set. And I think by doing this, you'll find a lot of peace. And I'm seeing that you really are protecting yourself right now and making sure you don't get hurt. It's like you're on the offense, preparing for someone to overstep a boundary. But you can have strong boundaries and also hold this peace in your heart and this tenderness. You can be cautious with people until you're able to see who they are. You don't have to let everyone in, but you don't have to let nobody in. It's not an all or nothing kind of thing. And I think that Spirit's trying to get you to open up and have this tenderness with people you feel safe around. I think you're wanting to play and have fun, and you want to enjoy these things, but part of you is scared to get hurt again because you had fun in those past chapters and then your boundaries were violated and you were hurt. And Spirit's saying that you know you have more information now, you have wisdom from the past, and you can have your guard up at the beginning and pay attention to red flags and whether people are respecting your boundaries and aligned with you energetically, and then you can have this lighthearted energy and open up to them in a vulnerable way. This is like a balancing act of protecting yourself and allowing yourself to be vulnerable. And Spirit's saying you don't want all or nothing with this. You want a balance. And I think you used to not have boundaries or precautions in getting hurt. And so now you have a lot of boundaries up and flipped like that, or vice versa. And Spirit's saying, balance this out and you will find peace and happiness. And you'll feel safe in your environment by knowing that you have this balance. So let's look at the tarot cards for more information. I just heard The Hills Have Eyes. I think that's a Weeknd song. Maybe you dealt with some players in the past and that kind of vibe. Okay, so what do you want to tell Pile 4? the back of the deck is the King of Cups in reverse. We have the Four of Swords, the Two of Swords in reverse, the Ace of Cups in reverse, and the Six of Cups. Oh, okay. So all the piles today have felt pretty connected. So if you felt drawn to any of the other ones, I would definitely recommend looking at them. There's an energy in your life that wasn't serving you. It was calculated and was really self-interested. And you wanted peace above all else. You wanted security, and you wanted to know that you were taking care of yourself. And this was a hard decision to make, but you walked away from what wasn't serving you because you realized that you were giving all your love and you weren't receiving it. And what I see here is a beautiful love coming in for you, a beautiful new chapter, but you might fear repeating the same difficulty or with whatever this thing or person was or whoever. And Spirit's saying that this will be an equal give and take, but you can be cautious and move into this at a slow pace and make sure that you're not giving too much and that you're receiving enough. Because it just feels like these past things that made you have your boundaries up now are very different than what's coming in. This feels like a soulmate energy is coming in, and you're meant to find this balanced reciprocity. And I think it's really beautiful that you chose your peace above all else, and I think you value peace above anything. So when you feel guilty about leaving the past behind, feel sad about being in that situation longer than you wanted to, be so proud of yourself that you chose peace over everything. The car horn just honked, that's confirmation. You chose peace over everything. That's your value system. You have found the right value system for you, and that's really impressive. Most people have skewed value systems that are warped in ego and materialism and status. You have found a true, beautiful value system for you, and it wasn't easy, and there's still fear here over what is happening in the future and what it will look like, but trust that you're prepared for it. And all you need to know is that the give and take are balanced and that you're achieving peace in this situation. You're going into any situation looking for peace, and that's what you'll find when it's right. I want to look at this soulmate energy. Can you give us any information about this, Spirit? Spirit's like, So this person is introverted and very introspective, and they are way deeper than they come off at first. They might like the mountains and the night sky. They might bring you flowers. And you'll also go through an introspective time of realizing what this give and take balance looks like and what peace in your life looks like. You're both going to have introspected before you come together. These are two very wise souls meeting. And I feel like your past chapter, there wasn't this depth. You couldn't meet where you were meant to, or where you need to for your own fulfillment. And this person's also seeking peace. I just heard, peace be with you, and also with you. So that's definitely the crux of this reading, is peace. Let's look at some affirmation cards for any extra wisdom Spirit has for you. 7 of Pentacles, I trust my ideas and my direction. Knight of Swords, I choose my battles carefully. And King of Swords, I trust my ability to make a strategic decision. So, Spirit's really saying this might go slower this might be a slower process than you're used to, but patience coincides with peace. And you're learning the art of patience in this situation. And this really reiterates that you're choosing what gives you peace, so you're choosing carefully. And I can see that as you continue to make decisions that align with your values, you're going to grow into this King of Swords. And you're going to know that you are making the right decisions for yourself. And I think that your partner really mirrors this, the person you end up with. And this is intentionality. This is really making sure your life aligns with your values, and that your values are good ones to have. You're meant to trust your direction and know that you're headed in the right way, and that you'll make the right choices as they come. You'll know what's right for you and what's wrong for you, and you don't need to know everything right now. You'll know as time does what it does and moves. So let's look if Spirit has any celestial information about this. We have Yod. Yeah, this is destined. When this comes in, is all destined. This is on divine timing for sure. So this is happening, and you're meant to fully trust in that. It's just a matter of time and a matter of when you've learned your lessons. So I want to pull... I'm going to pull some zodiac cards to just see any signs or synchronicities that might be helpful about whenever you meet this person. Okay. We have Shooting Star, Quick Action, Wish Granted, Rare, Falling, Roundabout, Community, Connections, New Direction, Unlikely, Roadblock, and Within a Few Weeks. Okay, so there might be challenges, or like you might feel like the first time you meet, things aren't happening. But I'm seeing that, I'm seeing the first time you meet, you maybe just don't really get to talk, or like just stuff comes up and it just feels blocked. But within a few weeks, I see things will develop. I think that it'll just feel like destined that this happened. And I want to pull a card for the unlikely, because it's obviously happening, but this person, this person just feels like you have a lot of options, and they feel like this Knight of Swords, like we saw down there, and they don't feel ready for you, but they have this King of Swords energy, and they are going to fight for you. So this is them just feeling like you're too good for them, honestly, or that you would think they think that you wouldn't be interested. But you're going to meet through community, maybe through friends, and things are just going to flow naturally to make this happen. And this is a moment in time you'll really, I think, feel the fact that this is destined. Wow, I love that. So let's look at the Rose Oracle cards. The Sun, Life Force, Success, Vitality, Play. You're going to have the best time ever with this. You're going to really feel alive and happy. And your inner child's going to be very happy too. I'm seeing that as the Sun continues to, like the world continues to warm up around you, this will continue to increase. Or like, that's when this will come into balance. Whenever you're watching this, when the world gets hotter, it's like spring and summer. I don't know why I phrased it like that. But whenever you're watching this, this is timeless. So we'll look at the ego cards now. I forgive myself for thinking I must look or act a certain way in order to be enough. I choose to believe that I am innately worthy, and when I allow every aspect of my being to be expressed without discrimination, I respect the extent of my brilliance. So you're not going to come into union with this person until you feel comfortable being exactly who you are. And I think this is something you have to work on after what you went through before this. And you're just meant to know you're enough. You're whole as you are, and you don't have to change anything about you. And who's aligned with you will stay. You won't have to fight for it. It'll just be natural. I forgive myself for feeling as though I may somehow mess everything up should I choose to trust myself. I choose to believe that every time I allow myself to gently follow my instinct, I strengthen my intuitive muscle and set myself up for future success. I think you're definitely feeling pulled towards this thing, and you're feeling worried you'll self-sabotage or not help it go the way you would want it to go. And you're just meant to trust that you have your back in this, and if things are meant to work out, they will. So just trust in the tides of this and be discerning about who you let into your energy. So pile 4, this is what I'm getting for you. I think pile 2 might be significant to you if you want to check it out, if you felt drawn to it. Yeah, this is what I'm getting for you. It was an honor to read for you. I will see you in another reading. Take care. Bye. Hey, pile 5, if you chose this crystal, then this is your reading on messages from your subconscious. So let's look at the energy. Firstly, we have Bat, intuition, in reverse. We have Strength. The gallery of those who came before. Home. And vision. Whatever you're dealing with, many people before you have dealt with it too. And looking at their experience and how they got through it will be really helpful for you. Even if this is a positive thing, whether this be a positive thing or a difficult thing you're going through, because I can see it could go either way. I feel like you have fear about getting this right, doing this right, or fear of how this will unfold. And Spirit's really saying, trust that this has been done before, and if others can do this, you can do it too. And I think you're meant to look at past examples of people doing this and find strength in them. I think this could have to do with like buying your first apartment or renting your first apartment or having a serious relationship for the first time. There's something you fear here. You fear the unknown. And Spirit's saying there's some things you can't see. There's some things you can't know about this process. There's your intuition and your abilities are guiding you, but there's still some mystery left up in the air that you're not going to be able to figure it out with logic or with tarot. There's some things that are a mystery and aren't going to be answered. It's like they're not going to give you the ending of a spoiler to the book of your life that you're looking for. The way you can help yourself here, though, and find peace is by looking at people who've been through this before and how they got through it. And also looking, if you've been through something like this before, looking at how you handled it, and also learning from other people's mistakes so that you don't have to make a mistake. And also learning from your past mistakes, I think, could be helpful. I think you really want clarity on why this is happening and clarity on the reason for everything, and I'm hearing that there's some things you're not meant to know, and what you're meant to do is find the strength to get through this and to do this. And I think relying on people who feel like home right now will be really important. And realizing that you're a brilliant person who might often get caught in your head. And I think you coming back into your body will be really helpful right now, doing things that get you out of your mind. And I see you really protecting your safety here, protecting what makes you feel comfortable, what makes you feel at peace. And I see you achieving that. I think having community around you right now is very important to what's going on. And having loved ones around and supporting you, because there are people who will support you, and I think seeing how other people did this will give you clarity on the fact that I feel like you feel kind of like cast out to sea with no oar or map or something, and looking at people's experiences will be like getting an oar or a map. I think you perceive it as a bad thing that you can't know all the answers here, but Spirit's saying you know what's important for you to know. The relevant information is inside of you, and more will be revealed. But right now, knowing that you can get through this, you have the strength to get through this, and it's going to be warm on the other side of this, is important for you to know. I think writing right now could be very helpful for you, writing down how you feel, and doing whatever you can to take care of yourself, doing what you need, what will keep you healthy and happy. Muna! Hi! Hi! Okay, so we're going to look at the tarot cards. Some more information. So, how can Pile 5 best deal with this situation? Any additional information for Pile 5? Okay. We have the star in the back of the deck. So we have the Ace of Wands in reverse, the King of Pentacles in reverse, the Emperor in reverse, Two of Swords in reverse. And then we have the Four of Swords in reverse, and the Five of Wands in reverse. So I think you're meant to accept things as they are. I think passion in some form or another has left your life, and this is something that had to happen and in some way was for the best, even if that's a hard pill to swallow. And I'm seeing that in some way this has just empowered you, this has hurt, and it's also left you shaken up. And really wanting to avoid difficult things and avoid conflict or drama. So this could be something you're new at or something difficult that happened. It's easy to get into a mind state of feeling like you can't handle something or you don't have the strength to handle it. But with the Star card on the back of the deck, I see that your perception is off. You're doing the best you can in this situation, you really are. And this is something that was inevitable that you were going to have to go through. And I feel the discomfort in this because it's something that you're not used to. And you're worried about losing passion or losing that spark in your life, and you won't. I feel like your anxiety is telling you, like, is kind of screaming at you, and intuition whispers. So don't mistake your anxiety and fear for intuition. And don't be conflict adverse here. I'm hearing that you're meant to speak your mind and not be avoidant here. And really step back into your power. Whatever you're going through, you can handle this, and you've got it. And this is going to make you stronger and more prepared for situations that are important to you down the line. And I'm hearing that you shine bright with or without trying. A star can't dim its own light. And even though you don't feel good right now, even though you don't feel positive, you will get through this. And you will be better for it. And any way you can rest your mind, meditating and sleeping, I think that'll be really helpful. And in some way it feels like your stability has been taken from you, or you fear your stability being taken, and Spirit's saying that this will work out, that there's better ahead. And I just keep hearing conflict in verse. I think change and argument is difficult for you, and you fear abandonment and chaos. But I think really you're meant to ride out this wave and know that it's going to get better. And that even if you can't see why things are happening, you can do the little things each day to make yourself feel better, whether it be meditating, praying, remembering to take a shower, bathe, writing a gratitude list, journaling. Those are things that you can do to support yourself during this time. And remind yourself that you're human and you're handling this as a human, and no one would be able to handle this perfectly. And you have to be as gentle with yourself as possible right now. Let's look at some affirmative tarot cards for you, for any messages Spirit wants to give. Two of Cups, I'm worthy of the deepest kind of love. Knight of Swords, I choose my battles carefully. I trust my ability to make a strategic decision. I trust my ideas in my direction, and I am free of whatever is holding me back. Where am I gonna put this? Okay. I think that this has really inflated in your head. You've conflated this in some sense, and there's strong connection here. And really, I feel like there's some sort of peace in your life that you're not used to, and you're obsessing over it going away. And Spirit's saying that you can free yourself from these limitations, and you can free yourself from this fear. And no matter what, you're going to be okay. You're going to be able to trust yourself and know that you can handle whatever comes your way. And I think that a few of these cards came out in pile 4, so that might be important for you to read. I feel like I think you're looking at things from a lack mentality, from a fear-based mentality, and you really need to shift into love and know that you choose your battles carefully, that you trust your ability to make a strategic decision, that you are worthy of the deepest kind of love. You're handling this exactly as you're meant to, and I feel like you're learning from this experience, and also learning that your fears aren't reality. Fear is false evidence appearing real. And I really think you're going to have divine connections right now. And you might fear it being taken away from you, but I think you're meant to be grateful for what you have and not fear something just because you care for it. I think practicing detachment with it will be helpful. So let's look at some zodiac cards for any signs or synchronicities that might be helpful for you. We have Urn, Lost Death, Fishing Pole, Self-Reliance, Sixteen Oneself, and let's see, Constellation, Network Support Associates. You have a big support system that will help you get through this, and you can also find it. Connection's very important right now. Dynamite, Passion, Action. You're going to be getting your spark back. This is destined for you. It's just a matter of time, and I think practicing your independence and doing things to make yourself feel better. 50-50. At this time, things could go either way. So it's up to you whether you want to heal from this. You can choose to focus on the difficulty or focus on recovery. And it's up to you how you get out of these negative thoughts. And if you focus on the good, you feed energy into the good. If you focus on the bad, energy is fed into that. So it's just important to remember that. So we also have Water Carrier, Humanitarian, Generosity. Yeah, you're a beautiful person who wants the best for everyone, and you might want to help people and save people. And it's important you realize that everyone is only responsible for themselves and can only take care of themselves. And I think you're meant to realize you can't save everyone, and you can only save yourself. And you're really doing great things, and I think this obsession and falling into this fear is something that Spirit's really hoping you can disengage from and find other outlets and find avenues of support. So let's look at the celestial bodies for any information for you that wants to come out. Ooh. We have Mercury in 22. I'm hearing rely on your foundation right now. Rely on what makes you feel stable. Rely on what gives you peace. And communicate about this. You're meant to talk about this and how you're feeling. And if you need a therapist, definitely I recommend it. And just talk to your support system and rely on stability. And To close, we're going to look at the Rose Oracle. We have Rose without thorns. You have a right to your joy, peace, sweetness of life. Spirit's really saying you deserve this peace, and you deserve the sweetness of life. And yes, there's bad things that happen in this world, but there's also good things, and Spirit's wanting you to grieve and then focus on these good things. Allow yourself to have a right to your joy. This is what I'm getting for you, Pile 5. This was a message I wasn't expecting, but I hope it helped somebody out there, and it was an honor to read for you, and I will see you in another reading. Take care. Bye.